Hi, I'm Hazel reporting live from the HRDF 2016 conference, and together with me is Mr. Ron Thomas, Senior International Faculty of the Human Capital Institute USA, and he's just about to, probably in the next hour or so, probably going to speak about reinventing HR, preparing for the new model. How are you feeling with us today?
I'm very good. I'm
You're
very
good.
good. Glad to
Good.
be here.
Thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to ask you to probably share what is your key message for our viewers back home regarding what you're going to be talking about?
Well, I'm talking. I'm relating my experience to the new model of human resources, which is really based on being kind of a workplace architect, and that's based on building a workforce based on organizational strategy. So my key message will be geared towards people either in their first iteration of human resources or third year, mid-career kind of thing, because I'm going after that mindset as opposed to speaking to the overall capabilities of HR, because they've been hearing this all throughout
I
the
know.
sessions today about the organization needs to move forward.
Yeah.
I'm talking to each individual as to how you need to move your career forward
Right.
and start preparing for this new model and be able to expand your brand.
Right. Because I mean, it's one thing that the organization needs to move forward, but if HR is not upskilled necessarily to take that on, it can't happen.
It can't happen because of the fact that organization will send people away for training.
Yeah.
They come to maybe one conference a year. So what happens to the other 11 and a half months?
Who knows?
So my take is that you have to take it upon yourself to develop yourself.
Okay. So, what is the biggest difference that you see in the needs or the capabilities of HR in 2011 versus 2016? So, what's the biggest shift and the gap that needs to be filled?
I think from hearing over a period of time, this move towards a more strategic focus is kind of sinking in. But I think every individual has to take it upon themselves to make that switch. That means reading more. I'm always amazed when I ask HR people, "Can you recite to me what the strategy is for your organization?" And no one tends to know. I said, "How many business periodicals are you reading?" No one's reading it. How many business interviews are you watching on TV? Nobody's doing that. It's now in your hands to develop your own career,
Right.
and you have to take that,
Right.
move
Yeah.
it forward.
So it's shocking as to how little knowledge or awareness there is out there with regards to what's really going on.
Exactly. I mean, everybody hears it. I mean, we've had a day and a half of hearing that.
I know.
So, what happens when you go back to work on say Monday?
Yeah.
If you're in a comfort zone and you come here, you're in a learning zone. If you're to move your career forward, you have to stay in that zone.
Sure, sure. Yeah, it's not a one hit wonder that's going to take place. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference between 2016 and 2026?
Whoa, that's a big one in 10 years.
So what is the world going to look like for HR in the next 5 years?
I think if I knew that, I'd be sitting on a boat someplace, sipping an adult beverage.
Well, if you don't know, then who's going to know?
Yeah,
You're
well,
supposed to be half of God over here.
this is my take on that. I think you will see a gradual shift, and I think that would be a forced shift of an organization because the workforce, the demographic of the workforce is skewing younger, and in order to engage and retain that mindset and that level of new people coming in, organizations are going to have to change their MO,
Yeah.
and I think they'll be forced to.
Right. Okay. And which, you've probably traveled quite a lot already. Which countries have you been most impressed by with regards to their HR competence, I guess, if that's the right word to use? And hopefully you don't offend anyone in this process as well.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't want anybody waiting for me outside.
Yeah. You better say Malaysia now.
Yeah, you know what? I do a lot of work in the Asia Pacific region, and I'm very, very impressed with the level of HR knowledge and the yearning for more and trying to understand. I still keep up with people that may have sat through 3 days of my training, and bouncing around ideas, that kind of thing. So I'm very impressed with this region.
Which region specifically? So this region has many countries. Which one would you
So
say?
when I Singapore,
Singapore? Yeah.
Malaysia, as well as Hong Kong.
Okay, all
Yes,
right,
yes,
all right. So a bit of mouse trembling over there when you
yes.
said Malaysia. What do you think? What do you think companies, or sorry, what do you think HR still don't seem to understand? Even in Singapore or Hong Kong, what do you think they still don't seem to understand after repeated training or after repeated knowledge being transferred to them?
I don't think it's a fact of HR not understanding. I think it's a fact of organizations not understanding. I would give you a short example. I was on a flight sitting next to a CEO of a company, and he was asking me what I did. As I explained to him from the perspective that I worked from, and he says, "Oh my, we don't have anybody like that in my organization." I said, "Yes, you do." He said, "Well, what department would that be in?" I said, "Human resources." And his response was, "My human resource department could never do anything like that." So my kickback to him was,
Okay.
"Have you ever given them the opportunity to do that? Have
Yeah.
you ever engaged them in conversations around strategy, and
Sure.
and the people aspect of,
Yeah.
of trying to get these things done?"
Yeah. And isn't HR really everybody's job?
It's everybody's job, but the organization has to understand the value of that. And there's a lot of been pushback because they feel that we,
Yeah.
as a profession, don't measure up to handle that. And you have to earn it too. So you can't put all the onus on them. We have to earn it by solving things and being solution providers.
Right. True enough. Thank you so much again, Mr. Ron, for
Thank you.
being with us today. Appreciate it.